Oh, hello everybody. In case you don't know who I am Jack, the Pumpkin King. And I am here to talk to Mr. Multi-Voice Reviewer to review this movie for this Thanksgiving. Oh, Mr. Reviewer!
Oh, hey everyone. I'm getting myself ready for Thanksgiving. Anyway, Mr. Skeleton, what is it?
I want you to review something just for Thanksgiving. Since I cannot have you review this on Halloween, because Halloween is long over, and of course I cannot make you do this review on Christmas, so I decided to do it on Thanksgiving in between Christmas and Halloween.
Why me, sir?
Because I know that you hardly get into the Christmas spirit, but you're more into the Halloween spirit. It kind of reminds me how I was, except I was never in a Halloween spirit. I was more into the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, but you usually make kids scream in horror, and your toys were just... You make kids scary instead of joy.
Yes, it's true, but it's time for you to review the movie that I starred in, just for the heck of it. Anyway, take it away, Mr. Multi-Voice Reviewer. This is Jack, the Pumpkin King, Jack Skeleton yourself, saying, see you on Christmas or Halloween. Bye-bye.
Jack's right. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome for the day's holiday special. And for those of you who are familiar with this holiday, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's a kind of holiday where everybody's just gonna join with their relatives, while the relatives create this whole holiday feast. I mean, having some delicious roasted turkey, pumpkin pie, candied yams, and even some really hot biscuit rousing with melted butter. Tell you the truth, talking about all this is making me very hungry. And I'm looking forward for Thanksgiving. But I never was a Thanksgiving person. I'm only been there just for the food. It's just the problem is some of my relatives are a real pain. Sometimes. And of course, everybody feels the same way on Thanksgiving. I mean, you enjoy the food, you enjoy the meal, but sometimes you do have some relatives who acts like a real pain to you. So, everybody pretty much gone through that. Is my tie straight? They tell me to put on a bow tie, but I'm not much of a bow tie person. I think they're very silly. But I'm not wearing a dress-up shirt for this. Anyway, this review I'm going to review for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Walt Disney and created by Tim Burton himself, the guy who created Batman and Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas. What can you say about Nightmare Before Christmas? What can you say about Nightmare Before Christmas? It was unlike any movie ever made. I mean, there were a lot of Halloween specials, there was a lot of Christmas specials, but nobody never thought up a movie where they kind of put two and two together. Adding together both Christmas and Halloween. And of course, it was actually based from one of Tim Burton's poems that he created. And of course, it was voiced by the late legendary Christopher Lee. A poem about Jack Skellington, the one who left. Who, he is the Pumpkin King, but he doesn't feel like celebrating Halloween because he's just not into the Halloween spirit. Kind of like how I am with Christmas. I knew that Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Christ, but I hardly get into the Christmas spirit. I'm no Grinch or Scrooge. I mean, no need to give me any ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future to force me to like Christmas. it's just one of these kinds of holidays I just don't feel. Anyway, to Jack Skellington, he doesn't feel the Halloween spirit. I mean, even though he attends to it, but he just doesn't get into it. And all of a sudden, he finds a doorway where it leads to Christmastown, where he sees all the elves, the toy factories, and the reindeers, and snowballs, and everything. You know, that old famous song. What's this? What's this? It's covered everywhere. What's this? There's whitings in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, this isn't fair. What's this? I know, I remember the songs. I always love singing those songs sometimes. It's too bad I haven't sung This Is Halloween on one of my Halloween specials. But sadly, Marilyn Manson did his version. I can't stand that guy. Ugh. I mean, he's just too weird for my taste buds. Anyway, after Jack Skellington decided to celebrate Christmas in Halloween Town, but the problem is that his Halloween folks, they grew up doing Halloween things. They're born to scare people, not give joy to people. And Jack, he's just too proud to understand. And this one patchwork sold-up girl named Sally, created by a wheelchaired mad scientist named Dr. Finkelstein, who put her together, she falls in love with Jack. She has feelings for him. It's just she's too shy to tell him. But she keeps having these vibes. She has like some kind of aura or something. That if Jack attends Christmas, it will be a disaster. And she tries to warn him, but he's just too proud to listen. And of course, it has a lot of monsters in Halloween Town. Like, there's a group of vampires. There is 2 witches. I did saw Grim Reaper on the back row of the seat. And of course, so on and so forth. And even there's the devil there, but he's not as evil in this one. The villain in this movie, he's called Mr. Oogie Boogie. He's just a potato sack filled with bugs who likes to play dice and gambles. You know him. I'm Mr. Oogie Boogie, and you ain't going nowhere. Ha 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 ha. 'Cause this will be the last time you hear the boogie song. Whoa, wow, whoa, wow, whoa, wow. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. It's starting to get to me, you know? It's just these catchy songs. Anyway, Mr. Oogie Boogie had those 3 spoiled brats named Jock, Stock, and Barrel, and they're called the Boogie Boys. I don't know why they're called the Boogie Boys. There's one girl who's a member of their team. But, Jack hired them to kidnap Santa Claus and make sure he's comfortable. But, they're brats. They decided to take him to Oogie Boogie, even though he says, take that no-account Oogie Boogie out of this. But they had their fingers crossed behind their backs. This is what happens. If you spare the rod and spoil the child, you get a new generation of boogie boys. These people who thinks discipline the kid is a better way to raise a child. But if you don't discipline them, they won't behave. Sheesh. Anyway, back to the movie here. It gets pretty, exciting and very good. Until here's the thing. All the monsters in Halloween Town makes all the decorations and all, but as it turns out, everything becomes all topsy-turvy. There's a vampire bear who keeps on attacking kids, and a monstrous duck, and there is a a man-eating snake swallowing the trees and everything, and a monstrous reef with shrubbery tentacles. I mean, it's just causing everybody to go, ah! Sorry. So the military had no choice but fire their guns to the perpetrator, and of course Jack gets blown up and landed in the cemetery. And it looks like Christmas has to be canceled. But as Jack starts to realize, Santa Claus, he's the icon of Christmas. He gives joy to kids and teaching people peace on earth and goodwill towards men. Not many people never understand that. While Halloween, it's all about scares, thrills, chills, and scary stories, and having candy, and dressing up costumes to confuse the spirits. I mean, it was an old Celtic tradition. That's what Halloween is. While Christmas is the birth of Christ. You see, Halloween is supposed to be... It was created by the Irish, who are called Celtics, and they believe in All Hallows Eve. That's what it used to be called. Actually, it was called Samhain, but they changed it to All Hallows Eve, where the evil spirit of the dead returns to Earth and roams around, and that's why we wear costumes to confuse the spirits. And that's Halloween for you. While Christmas was actually the birth of Christ, and giving and knowing about peace on earth, goodwill towards everybody, and even joy and family and love. That's what Christmas is mostly all about. Peace, understanding, and love to those who have families and loved ones. While this one, on the other hand, it's just a real unique story and very awesome. Sadly, it didn't get popular back in 1990. Oh, what year was it? I mean, I remember it was in the 90s. 92. It was 92. This movie didn't get popular in 92 until the year 2000, where it did get popular. There was a lot of kids who remember this movie and loved it, and they got it back in popularity once again. A lot of people collecting the toys of them, and of course wearing shirts and all. And of course, as Jack Skellington, who got blew up, he finally discovered that he didn't really mean to create all this madness, and his people from Halloween Town didn't really understood. So, and he feels like his old self again. Once again, he feels like his old self. And now he is ready to set things right and get Santa Claus back before Halloween will be over completely. So he battles against the old Mr. Oogie Boogie. And Santa Claus is safe. And of course he saves the girl Sally. And Santa Claus just set things right. Good old Santa. And of course, Jack Skellington and Sally live happily ever after. And they always say, if you ever go to Walt Disney theme park, I never have, but there are times I wish I could. On the Haunted Mansion, that's one theme park I really want to go to, because I love the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I hear a lot of things about it, and I want to go there. And don't get me started with the movie with Eddie Murphy. Anyway, I heard every Christmas and Halloween, they decorate the Haunted Mansion with Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. A lot of Halloween versions of Nightmare Before Christmas, and a lot of Christmas of Nightmare Before Christmas. And you see Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington and all the others on the Haunted Mansion. That kind of reminds me, on Kingdom Hearts, why don't they ever go to the Haunted Mansion? I mean, that's supposed to be a part of Halloween Town. It would be pretty cool. All in all, This movie is awesome. Give it a watch. You can watch it at Halloween or watch it at Christmas. Any holiday you choose to watch this movie. It will get you into the Halloween or Christmas spirit. And still, sometimes I do feel like Jack Skellington. I mean, I never attended all that madness I've been through. Never. And nobody didn't understood. Well, how could they? All I ever wanted was to create something great. Why does nothing never turn out like it should? Well, what the heck? I even did my best, and I finally tasted something very swell. And for the moment, why, I even touched the sky, and the least they can tell I did. And for the first time since I can't remember when, but I feel like my old self again. And I'm Multi-Voice Reviewer. That's right. I am the Multi-Voice Reviewer! And I just can't wait until the next review, because I got some new ideas. It can really thrill you all, and by God, I plan to give it all my might! Uh-oh. But I hope there's still time to set things right. I should do a review for Christmas. But there's somebody who should understand about Christmas. Batman!